Right then, transfer window is done. And it's been an eventful one for Manchester United, and it's been a relatively successful one. We've started to see the groundwork of what we think Ineos are trying to build. We brought in some quality names and we've shipped off some deadwood. So I think it's time to review and rank all the deals that we've done this summer. And I'll give it each a score out of 10. So I'm going to start with the outs and we'll do the ins. First then, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, West Ham, 15 million. I think this is a good deal for both parties. He was replaced by Mazraoui, possibly even by Delo already in the squad anyway. We managed to get Mazraoui for cheaper than West Ham actually got Wan-Bissaka offers for, so that's good. He doesn't suit our play style. I think he was coming to the end of his usefulness. Yes, excellent 1v1 defender, but I think United have done well to get some money for him here, so I'm going to say 7 out of 10. Mason Greenwood, Marseille, 26.7 million. Now, for obvious reasons, it was a good deal to get done. You can argue amongst yourselves in terms of the validity of selling him or whether he's a good player. I don't think whether he's a good player is in doubt. I think it's all the other stuff that comes with him. There is a 50% sell-on clause, which really bumps the value of that deal up massively if he does well. But I think that just seeing how United are treated by everybody else in the media, if he'd have stuck around at United, it would have been unbearable. So I think 26.7 million feels a little bit cheap. You could probably push that north of 40, but you do have to take into consideration the reasons why United are selling him. So I think that being said, that's another 7 out of 10, I think. Now, Alvaro Fernandes, I'm torn on this one. On one hand, you have to say, well, maybe he wasn't good enough to break through. On another hand, you say he was never given an opportunity to. And the fact that he's gone to Benfica, he's not gone to Bristol, has he? He's gone to a European giant for 5.1 million. Now, there is a buyback and there is a sell-on percentage. But considering the problems that we've had at left-back and the fact that he's played in the Championship and he's played since he's been on loan as well, for me, this one feels like it could bite us in the arse later down the line. Now, I don't know the circumstances, whether the player was one of the key drivers in wanting to be moved on, or if it was the club going, we don't think you're good enough. I'm sure we'll find out when it all comes out. But for me, this one, I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with the price, and I'm not happy with the fact that he's left the squad in a bit of a sticky situation when he easily would have been playing for us this season. So I'm going to say 4 out of 10 for that one. Palestri, Panathinaikos, 5.12 million. He definitely wasn't United standard at all, and there is a 45% sell-on clause in there. I think it's less than what we paid, but not by loads. So I'm going to say 8 out of 10 for this one. 45% sell-on as well. If he does do well, will do well for us. McTominay, Napoli. Now, respectable squad player to have in the side. 25.4 million. Respectable player to have in the side. Good attitude. Seemingly a good pro. Never heard anything to the contrary. We've signed Xerxes, who should do the role that McTominay has been used as under Erik ten Hag a lot better. When you've seen some of the fees that, I mean, even the likes of Emile Smith-Rowe has gone for, 25 feels a little bit low for a very experienced Premier League player, a big feature international, and someone with the goal-scoring capabilities that he's had on the back of a good season. His contract was coming to an end. I would have liked north of 30 million for him, and I think that would have been fair, looking at the prices that some other players have gone for. But that being said, he doesn't really suit us, so 6 out of 10. Can't be too mad with it. Willy Kambala, 9.6 million. He had a decent start to life at United, and I think that's a good fee for us to get for him. I'm unsure whether he was up to the standard. I don't think he was. Certainly not to be a consistent starter at the club. To be backup or, fourth or fifth choice, I think he probably could have done that role, but I don't see him starting for us permanently. I know he's just made his debut starting for Villarreal alongside Eric Bailly, which made me laugh. But didn't really see enough of him to be able to say he's definitely worth more and he's definitely going to make it. He clearly thought it was time to move on. And just shy of 10 million is not bad for him. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Rafael Varane, end of contract. Yep, time the club moved on. He isn't getting any younger. And as good as he has been, it's the right decision. So 7 out of 10. Mario Forson, end of contract. He wasn't good enough. Again, 8 out of 10. Anthony Martial, 10 out of 10. one of the maddest transfers. And you can say, look, the guy had the talent. Yeah, he did. We rarely saw it though, did we? So 10 out of 10, Anthony Martial. Brandon Williams, probably not up to the United standard. So, 8 out of 10. Total incomings, 86.92 million, which, not bad. Not bad. Now the ins. Let's start with Mazraoui. So he cost us 12.8 million plus potentially another 4.2 in add-ons. He's replaced Wan-Bissaka in the team. He's far more versatile. He's far better on the ball. Wan-Bissaka cost us so much, but we managed to get more for Wan-Bissaka's sale than it's cost us to bring Mazraoui in. We have upgraded. It's literally been an upgrade that we made money from. He fits the manager's style of play really fluently. He's had an excellent start to life. He barely had a training session when he was just stuck in. So brilliant so far. Feels like a 9, doesn't it? So far. Feels like a 9 with how well it's gone for us so far. I'm going to give it a 9 because I think the price, the fact that he played without, barely had his name on a shirt and was in the team. So, yeah, 9 so far. I don't know if it stays as a 9, but, so far a 9. Matthias de Ligt, 38.5 million. I think that's an incredible price for someone that has had a successful career so far, despite what TalkSport et al. Might tell you. He is not Premier League proven yet, but he does have the tools to be great. He is a Manchester United defender. He's got the physical traits to do well in the Premier League. The price was right. We've done well, I think, in getting him in, but it feels like a 7 out of 10 with him so far. I think getting him and Mazraoui in is excellent, and I think the overall window, which we'll come to at the end, has been good, but 7 out of 10 so far for him. Joshua Zirkzee, Bologna, 36.4 million. Gives us depth in a striking area, which we really did not have last season. He is a different style of player to Højlund, which I think is good. I think it's really good to have different tools for different jobs. He can play across the front line in any position, and he's already made his mark with the winner against Fulham. Good price, good player, 8 out of 10. Lenny Yoro, 42.8 million with about another 10 or so in add-ons. We actually beat Real Madrid to the finish line on this one. We got something over the line. You get an extra point for that alone. He is a centre-half for the future. He has been touted as a wonder kid countless times by countless people. And I think this is an incredible deal for us to do. When he's fit, there are no doubts he's going to feature consistently for us. I don't know how that looks for sure right now, but I think it says a lot that we pursued this deal even with the knowledge of the metatarsal injury. It's a high price for a relatively unproven player, but it's also no risk if he lives up to anywhere like the expectation. He is a young Varane in every sense of it, and I think he's going to be a very, very good player down the line for Manchester United. I think the fact that he's injured makes me feel like an 8 out of 10 rather than a 9 out of 10. But I'm very happy to have him on board. Ugarte, 42.3 million with another 8 or so in potential add-ons. He is an upgrade for the midfield. He's also a little bit of depth. And he gives us a different and a more useful option in midfield and certainly a more dynamic defensive option. He will be first choice for the position within 5 or 6 weeks. And it's great to get him for a pretty good price as well, actually. It's a lot cheaper than what we paid for Fred. We managed to get our way with a deal after we sold McTominay. This replacement and upgrade in the squad, I think, reflects that Ineos one in, one out way of navigating the FFP and PSR restrictions. I think he's going to be good. But for now, we'll see how he starts. I feel like an 8 out of 10. And then we've had some youngsters coming in. Some really big ones, actually. We have no idea if these guys are going to feature in this window, in this season, or if they're real long-term sort of prospects for us. But we've signed people with wonder kid potential. So the only one we know the price of is Sekou Kone from Guidars FC, £1 million with another million in add-ons potentially. We do not know the price of Samuel Lascelles from Crystal Palace, and we do not know the price of Chido Obi-Martin from Arsenal. There's a lot to like about all of those players, and there's a lot of potential in all of those players. We will see what they are about. And if they see any of them in like the League Cup or anything like that this season, well, we'll find out if they're good or not. But I think United have really set their stall out under Ineos for the first time. I'm not expecting every single one of those players to go and actually have, fantastic careers at Manchester United, winning everything. But it's been a nice start to life under Ineos, showing just what a competent football board might have been doing for the last 11 years if we'd have had one. So good start overall. I feel like it's an 8 out of 10 window. When you look at the ins, the outs, the youth, 8 out of 10. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.